Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're constantly on the go, juggling a million things and just feeling the sheer weight of the day, I actually want to invite you to do something a little radical right now. Step completely out of that fast-paced routine. Today we're diving into this fascinating and highly effective psychological tool called the gratitude spots exercise. We're going to unpack exactly how it works, why it transforms our mental state, and how we can literally use it to completely change our perception of the world around us. So let's slow things down, get focused, and really explore the quiet presence of invisible support.
Okay, let's jump right in. I want you to imagine standing completely still. Not rushing to your next meeting, not scrolling endlessly through your phone, not planning the very next thing you have to knock off your to-do list. Just imagine finding one quiet spot in your life. It could be, a balcony you never use. Maybe it's a window looking out at a nearby tree. Or honestly, just a tiny corner of a room that you usually walk right past without a second glance. Imagine bringing your racing mind to an absolute halt in that exact spot.
Which brings us to Section 1, Finding Your Quiet Spot. This is where we deliberately pull ourselves away from all that constant, buzzing mental noise to establish a baseline of physical and mental stillness.
Think about the stark contrast here between ignoring and noticing. On one side, we've got our default mode, right? Ignoring. This is when we're rushing, scrolling, planning. It's that constant sense of urgency and overwhelming mental noise just dragging us away from the present. But on the flip side, we have the shift, noticing. In this state, you're standing still. You're fully present. There is absolutely no urgency. It's just you and this exact moment. It's a huge, profound shift that happens when we consciously choose to stop ignoring our environment and start actually noticing it.
Well, how do we cross over into that noticing state? Let's do it right now. Take a really slow breath in and a slow breath out. Let's do that again. Just breathe in and out. Now notice the ground beneath your feet. It's literally supporting your weight right this second. Feel the air as it gently touches your skin. Listen to the sounds happening all around you. The absolutely crucial thing to realize here is that these subtle physical sensations are happening entirely on their own. They aren't asking anything from you. For the first time in a long time, you're not ignoring them. You're actually anchoring yourself in them.
Moving on to Section 2, Uncovering Invisible Supports. Now we're getting into the core of the exercise, revealing those vital things in our lives that we usually just, walk right past.
The whole point of this practice hinges on one really simple question. What blessings exist here that I normally ignore? I want you to ask yourself that, softly, on the inside, and just let it linger for a second. We're not looking for the dramatic stuff here. We aren't searching for big, loud achievements or massive life victories. No. We're intentionally scanning for the quiet, hidden supports of your life, the invisible framework holding you up.
And as you ask that question, one by one, these everyday blessings just start to appear. Clean air entering your lungs. The simple ability to stand and breathe without putting in any effort. Just pure awareness. The light touching the surroundings. It's soft, steady, and it's always there, even when you totally leave it unnoticed. A body that continues carrying you forward, even on those days when you completely forget to appreciate it. The sounds of life continuing around you. Birds, movement, the hum of existence simply going on. These are steady, ever-present supports.
Now here's the absolute secret to making this exercise actually work for you. After you identify each of those invisible supports, you don't rush off to the next one. You pause. You let it land. It is incredibly important that you let these realizations move from just a passing, fleeting thought into deep, grounded awareness. You've got to give your brain the actual time to feel the weight of these blessings.
And that leads us to Section 3, the internal shift. Let's explore the psychological transformation that occurs entirely as a result of changing where we aim our attention. Just notice what happens inside of us here. Before you paused, your baseline was probably a rushing mind and a feeling of heaviness, right? But after you pause and really let that invisible support land, the mind that was just racing starts to slow down. That heaviness that was weighing on your chest actually begins to soften. And what's so wild about this shift is that your external life circumstances haven't changed one bit. The world outside is exactly the same, but your internal reality has been completely transformed simply because you shifted your focus. As you continue to hold on to that attention, deeper anchors begin to surface. You might start to notice the fact that you have water available whenever you need it. You might suddenly remember someone who really supported you in the past.
You recognize your own incredible ability to feel things deeply. You notice a moment of silence that is still right here in the room with you. And finally, you realize the quiet truth that you get to begin again. These are profound internal and external pillars of support, and they only surface as you let this practice deepen.
So, take a quick second to reflect right now. Out of everything we just walked through, which blessing actually touched you emotionally? Something inside you probably feels a little different right now. Just pause and identify which specific quiet support really resonated with your heart.
And on the flip side, I really want to challenge you with this. What do you usually take for granted? In your normal rush to get to the next meeting, the next task, the next big milestone, how often do you totally fail to notice what is already supporting you right in this very moment?
This brings us to one of the most powerful realizations in this entire explainer. What if life is already holding you way more than you realize? It turns out our attention completely dictates our perception. If we only ever focus on the stress, we're going to feel unsupported. But if we shift our focus to the quiet presence of all these foundational pillars, we realize life has actually been holding us up this entire time.
Which brings us to our final part, Section 4, Practicing in Real Time. This is where we take this tool and apply it directly into the messy, difficult moments of life.
Because you aren't just doing this in peaceful moments anymore. When stress rises, when your emotions feel impossibly heavy, or when life is just completely overwhelming, you return right here, to this exact pause, to this noticing. You see, gratitude isn't just something you passively wait to feel when something amazing happens anymore. It becomes a deliberate, active tool you practice in real time to stabilize yourself.
To help really anchor this in real time, I want you to imagine a future version of you right in the middle of a stressful moment, placing your hand over your heart, and silently, you recite this to yourself. Thank you for what I already have, while I continue becoming who I'm meant to be. This bridges the gap perfectly. It honors your ambition to grow while immediately grounding you in the profound safety of your current, everyday blessings.
And in that moment, holding your hand to your heart, you realize a simple but deeply powerful truth. You were never as unsupported as your mind believed. You were just not noticing. The lack of support you felt wasn't reality. It was literally an illusion created by a rushing mind. The physical structure around you, the air, your body, your life, it was all there, silently holding you up.
So I want to leave you with this final thought as we wrap up this explainer. Now that you do notice, how does that change everything? If you walk away from this knowing that you're constantly surrounded by an invisible web of support, how are you going to approach your very next task? How will you handle your next stressful moment? Take this newfound awareness, step back out into your day, and let it change everything. Thank you so much for exploring this with me today. And hey, keep noticing what's holding you up.